Hi there, it's over a week that I have done no video, so I'm probably getting already a little bit rusty. Also, my hair's a disaster. I need to go to the hairdresser, but just don't look. Today I want to talk about or a simple thing that just crossed my mind, and then I thought, okay, well, I should talk about it, but then I figured that actually if I talk about it, I open a can of worms, which I'm already doing, so forget about it. I like to own things. It's just a random thought that just popped up in my mind, and then I realized that actually, okay, now I said it, it actually is two topics in one. So I probably, just introduce it right now and then dive more into detail later. So two major things, that is own and that is things. And let's go to the things first. It's I think it's I'm an analog person. I think people are analog, so we are connecting better to things, physical things that we can touch, smell, we knock on them, we hear. That it's something that we not just see or where we receive a service or a function from. It's actually the thing itself that we relate to. I'll give you an example. Music, you can have either music somehow invisibly coming from ceiling speakers, or you can actually have a thing, the hi-fi thing in front of you. You sit down on a nice chair. Thing number two, you have the music, you have these two speaker things that, they're not hidden, they're there, and sometimes they're actually fairly big. They also should look good, but that's, as I said, I will dive into that later. What I'm saying is, so the music comes from things, and if you're either as old as me or as young as a Gen Z, then you actually start appreciating the thing that is, for example, not just a vinyl or a tape nowadays. Even forget who would have thought about it. A tape or a DVD. You take that thing, you go to your hi-fi thing, which you have to open. You put in that DVD, and then you press the button thing that says start. So you see, there's a lot of physicality involved, and I like that, and I think, it's something that in general we people, humans aren't analog, we like that we relate better to things. And I think that is kind of important, when you design. I mean, there are people that think that the era of nice things is over, and we are just now moving on to to focusing just on on that part of what is that thing actually doing for us. Can we actually have something, can we receive this doing without the thing itself? And well, we probably, to some respect, of course, we can cue, the hidden speakers in the ceiling. And I mean, that is just, the most simple thing. There are way more sophisticated ways now, but that's not the whole picture. And it's actually, it devalues the whole story, in my opinion. The idea that we actually interact with physical objects gives the whole service receiving, the act of service receiving, more value. Okay, I will dive more into that, when I go into details. because otherwise my video will get too long right now, and as I said, I'm rusty, so it will probably make things worse. But the other thing I like that word, do I? The other aspect or the other word that I mentioned earlier is I like to own things, and that I think just comes from the fact that, well, I mean, there are a million aspects again, that I can probably, describe separately. That is the owning versus the subscribing, which as a designer is something that I do experience on a daily basis. When you want software, and there are these two strategies, that the companies want to sell you what you want. They want you to subscribe to their service when actually you want just their product, and you want to take that product, that tool home, like you would do with a hammer that you buy. And well, it's good for them. That whole subscription model is they tie you into their universe, and you have to do what they want, and it's like you buy the hammer, but you can only use to hit 100 nails per month. If you want to do more than that, you have to pay for that extra. There are other things, like for example, cars. Yeah, I think cars is a very good topic to actually dive on, really into separately, because again, it's one of those classic cases. Do you need to own a car, or can you just do a car share, or do you even use the car just as a service, or translate that as to like an Uber or a taxi? So that's services, and there are different purposes for the different models, and I think each one has its valid points, pro and con. And yeah, I think I will do that next time. Maybe I start with the cars, then I do the software, and last but not least, I go back into the whole idea of things versus not things. So here's a little bit of a preview, basically, of what I want to talk about. And if it probably doesn't matter to you which one I like, and well, you know it already, but because I said I like things. But I would like to highlight, first of all, what difference that does make for the design, and how basically putting all the aspects together to find a bigger picture, and what that means to not just for me, but also for you as a designer, or for you as a customer. So please come back, hit the subscribe, I think it is, because then when the next video comes out, you can like it or not like it. That's up to you. Of course, I appreciate if you like it. Who doesn't? And I'll see you next time.